Hello and welcome. Glad to have you with me today. I'm going to talk about Temple of God. I'm in a church now, and the Temple of God is where God is at or meets us at. That's normally. And a church can be a temple if it's a place where you meet God, and it should be that. But there's a more intimate temple that we have. 1 Corinthians 3:16 and 17 says, "Did you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you?" We, as believers, have accepted the Spirit of God. And therefore, the Spirit lives within, and we are the temple. And in this temple, God dwells. So therefore, we need to try to keep this temple clean and pure. Now there's a story in Matthew, I'm thinking in particular, chapter 21, where Jesus enters the temple. That was the temple in Jerusalem in his day. And he drove out money changers. He drove out people that were selling doves and animals. Now, we wonder why that is when on the surface. But like us, as being the temple, Jesus said, "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you've made it a den of thieves and robbers." We often don't honor our own bodies. We often allow them to be polluted, not just with food, but with thoughts and things that we do that are not honoring to God. Jesus drove out people that were business people, that were trying to make a buck off of other people. And he called them robbers, so therefore they were actually taking money from others. You know, you couldn't go to the temple without an offering, something to give. Today we call offering money that we give. Back then they gave animals. Certain animals were supposed to be pure without blemishes. And so they would sell them at a premium within the temple wall, within the place where God was, his presence was dwelling in the form of the Spirit. And said, "No, you don't do that in the temple." And since we are the temple, we too have to keep ourselves clean. And how do we do that? It's really not hard, but yet it is hard. We need to come before God at least once a day and ask God to forgive us for things we didn't do or things we did do, things we've seen that we shouldn't have seen that have polluted us, has turned our hearts away from God. God says, "You do this." And if we say, "No, we don't have time right now," we have just did what biblically is called a sin, because we said no to God. And there are many times when we do things just for the fun of it, as we think they're fun, that they could be damaging to our bodies or our spirits. Our minds and our spirits, our souls are very important. Your mind and your spirit is your soul. So just to get that a little clearer here, that is who you are. And just as Jesus cleared the temple We need to clear ours daily. We need to pray about it and make sure it works right. You know, then in verse 17 it says, if any man destroys the temple of God, God will destroy him. For the temple of God is holy. And that is what you are. If you've received Christ, honor your body, honor the temple. God is in it through the Spirit. And he wants you to be holy as he is holy. So keep your temple clean and pure. Yeah, that'll go into sexual things too. Don't do anything that God would say and let him speak to you would not be right. There's much in the Bible about what to do and do. And yes, you should keep your body pure and holy. But this is not just physical. And that's what I want to key in. It's what we allow into us. Sometimes it's friends that go off the deep end and we listen and we follow them. They can confuse us, upset us, irritate us. And we begin to think like they do. And that's not what God has for us. As being the temple, as being the place God dwells, we need to stay holy and clear. Thank you for joining me today. If you have questions or comments, please write them down on YouTube. I get them as a comment, okay? And I will respond. I'd like to help you. Thank you.